Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or good day, depending on where you're from. Hello, and welcome back. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Gonna give it a minute for people to join before we get into the conversation. Good morning or good day, depending on where you're from. Hope everybody's week is going well. We got ourselves a short week this week with the US holidays tomorrow. Still happy to get on here and get another day of conviction in. Get another session in. Continue to collect conviction through experience. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good day. Morning, Mr. Velvet. Morning, OP. Mario, what's up? Morning, Trade Pulse. Luke Trades, good morning. Grandma, good morning. Jimmy, good morning. Jacob, hello. Avon, good morning. Pete, good morning. Atman, good morning. Darts, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Abdallah, good morning. Johan, good morning. One Girl Trader, good morning. Meki, good morning. Sonic, what's up? Antonio, what's up? Whistles, good morning. Valentine, good morning. Tiago, good morning. Uday, what's up? Jean, good morning. Vic, good morning. Ad, good morning. Dude, it's me, good morning. JDM, good morning. Nikos, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody's day is going well. Hope everybody's week is going well. We'll hop into the conversation here. Just giving everybody a minute to join. Saying good morning to the community. Armand, good morning. HMH, good morning. Jillian, good morning. Dane, good morning. Uturo, good morning. L, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody's week is going well. Hope everybody's day is starting off well. So, just a couple housekeeping things before we get into it. If anybody's not aware, we are currently doing a Black Friday sale for the private group. We posted it here on Twitter. Huge opportunity to put yourself with other like-minded professionals who continue to work towards their business daily. Massive, massive discount. This is definitely the time to lock in for 2025. See the post here on Twitter, and then the link below it will bring you right to the page. Okay, so anybody interested in the premium group, you can see it there. Second thing is the giveaway. We're going to do a My Funded Futures giveaway here. So for anybody that saw this tweet this morning, we're going to hand out 2 50K starter accounts for My Funded Futures. We'll be handing it out to 2 people that are present in the audience today. So we're going to do that towards the end of the stream. We are going to get a normal New York AM session in. So that brings me over to the economic calendar. The day always starts on the economic calendar. We always need to know what the important times of the day are. Taking a look at today's economic calendar, we see that we have red folders. So we do want to be participating on days that have red folders. That is our liquidity injection. We quite literally need price to go up and down for our P&Ls to fluctuate. We want the liquidity injection. For me personally, I always look to engage with price after the news driver. So you can see here that there was an 8:30 a.m. news driver. And then we also have a 10 a.m. news driver. So we'll be taking a look at New York AM session. We'll look to see if there's any unicorns after 10 a.m. From the economic calendar, we always head over to our highest time frames, the daily. The daily is what we look at to get our bias. For bias, what I'm looking at is swing highs, swing lows, or FBGs. Those are the points on the chart that help me determine bias. And so I look at the most recent information to help me understand the bias. I'm going to go ahead and point to an FVG here on the daily chart in which it was invalidated when price began to close above it. Therefore, price must be moving higher to the swing high here. Leaving me with a bullish bias. Right, so I'll be looking for new all-time highs on ES. Now, the premium group already gets this information. The premium group gets this in real time each morning. They also get weekly prep. So we were actually looking for new all-time highs since the beginning of the week for this reason. Okay, so after obtaining a bias, that sets our game plan for the day. Game plan being same as always. Time is always the most important element. Bias or draw on liquidity is the second most important element. And then lastly, entry function. And we just did that here in real time once again. We looked at the economic calendar to understand time. We have 9:30 open, so we look to participate. Our hunting session is 9:30 to 12. And since we understand that there's a 10 a.m. news driver, we'll look for positions after 10 a.m. We then moved over to the daily chart and understood that we're looking at a bullish bias. Looking for prices to reach new all-time highs. So that means during our session, we'll look for bullish unicorns after the news driver. We set the game plan. After setting the game plan, we execute the game plan. Don't allow any noise, anybody else's opinions, any feelings or emotions to deter you from carrying out the game plan. Because that's what matters. Being process driven it really helps you understand what is and isn't a trade, right? So sitting here stating I'm bullish, I'm sitting here stating that I'm looking for bullish unicorns after the news driver. So there's really no way to deviate from that plan unless you do something impulsively or emotionally. Simply just wait until 10 a.m. Look to see if you get a bullish entry function. If you do, then let the probabilities play out. Make sure that risk is always managed. Risk is always to be accepted before any positions are even taken. So if you can't accept the risk, then you should not be engaging with price. Okay, so now that it's New York Open, we'll go in and watch price. As we're watching price, we'll keep this in mind. As we're watching price, we can get to any questions or comments in chat as well. Give me 2 seconds. I'll get both ES and NQ up here on the screen. Just give me 2 seconds. All right, there we go. Give me another 2 seconds. I'm actually also going to take a sip of coffee. All right, thank you very much. All right, so for anybody that is wondering why they can't participate in chat, you have to sub to the channel to participate in chat. While you're subbing to the channel, turn the notifications on. That way you can be alerted for any other educational videos we upload to the channel. And when we go live, we normally go live Wednesday mornings. Also like the video while you're at it, and then throw any questions or comments in chat, and we can start to go over it now. Do you look for session profiles? Do you think profiles are important? Yes, I definitely look at session profiles. It definitely helps confirm or deny an idea. Do you ever take market entry near the breaker when limit entry doesn't get tagged? There has been times where I have marketed into positions. Has also been times where I have limited into positions. The majority of the time I use a limit. Hi, Ash. How do you determine bias if EQ shows bullish? Oh, ES shows bullish bias and NQ shows bearish one. When two correlated assets are not correlated, that shows you indecision in the marketplace. ES and NQ are correlated, so they should be moving the same majority of the time. So if they're not moving the same, that shows the indecision. And at that point in time, I would just sit on my hands and wait. I would rather place myself in higher probability times. So if that's the situation, that would sound like a time to be on the sideline, be waiting. Do you have any criteria for taking these market entries? No, I don't. There's nothing that... The only thing that I can say in regards to whether you should market or limit is your personal preference. Look at your data and see how you execute better, whether that's through limit orders or market orders. Every operator is going to have their own personal preferences. We all have our own feelings or emotions or thoughts. Or, you know, we're going to be good at different things using the same concepts. Some people might market order at the beginning of the breaker. Some people might limit order at the beginning of the breaker. That's an operator's preference. Is SMT important for entry? SMT definitely provides confluence to the idea. No matter what, I always have to have my entry function to enter. So in terms of entering the market, it doesn't matter if SMT is on the screen or not if my entry function is not there. If my entry function is there and SMT is present on the screen, that provides more conviction, yeah. Would like to know more about time alignment? Yep, so you can also use this entry function on higher time frames. So let me show you my 2 long-term investments that I made in 2024. And this will explain what I'm saying. We don't have to sit here and watch ES or NQ. Nothing has happened yet in regards to our game plan. So we have to wait until 10 a.m. anyways, so we can go take a look. Okay, so the question was about time frame alignment. Yes, you can use this model on higher time frames. Okay, so this was, and see, it's still here from when I first put it. This was a weekly breaker that I took on Tesla. This is something that the private group got. Swing low, swing high, new low, new high. And look at the clear displacement right here. There's a huge gap. Right, so gap plus breaker block. And then look what happens. So yes, you can use the model on higher time frames for long-term investments. Here's my other one. So these were the 2 purchases that I made this year. Once again, swing low, swing high, new low, new high, FVG. Right, so you get breaker block plus FVG. You just have to understand the difference in terms of risk and management. Right, look how long you would have to hold this if this is a weekly formation. So this is not like day trading. Okay, this is you don't want to put any leverage behind this so that you can hold it as long as possible. It's the same model, it's just different risk and different type of management. Right, so management meaning have to understand that you're going to have to hold this thing for a long time. The higher the time frame the model is found on, the longer you will have to hold the position. Okay. So yes, you can use it on higher time frames. You can use it on lower time. For the fair value gap to hold, do you look for wicks or the bodies where price closes? So when a candle closes past the fair value gap, that's when it's invalidated. Wicks do not invalidate it. Candle closures do. Right, so if we go to the daily here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right, look at this candle here. The candle has not closed past the daily fair value gap. This candle did. So this is when I would say that this bearish fair value gap is invalidated during this candle closure. We need to have a candle closure past the fair value gap. Consider it invalidated. Any suggestions for London session trader? It's hard to find this model during London. I've found this model a lot of times during London, so I'm not purposely trying to disagree, but I've seen this model a lot in London. How many setups a week does your model average? Well, there's no real average because you have to ask about the time frame, right? A 30-second chart is going to have hundreds of unicorns. A 1-minute chart is going to have hundreds of unicorns. A 5-minute chart is going to have less than a 1-minute chart. A 15-minute chart is going to have less than a 5-minute chart. So, in terms of average unicorns, there's a lot depending on which time frame you're looking at. But the real question needs to be risk management. How many unicorns will you feel comfortable risking throughout the week? Because you're not supposed to take every single unicorn that you see. You have to apply logic to your decision making. Don't be a pattern trader. Don't try to just take every single unicorn you see. Just not good risk management. I personally, my maximum risk on a week is 2 trades. That's because I'm a risk manager first. I always think in terms of risk. I don't even try to catch every single unicorn. How long am I going to hold Tesla or Amazon? I'll probably hand that down to my kids. That's how long. Good morning, Ash. Good morning, Jake. How are you today? I know you say keep consistent with 7 to 10 point stop loss on Apex, but how do you play breaker blocks, which are significantly larger than 10 points? I would not execute those ones. If it's too much risk to keep your risk on Apex consistent, don't execute that one. Continue to wait. Do you look for hour 1 change in the state of delivery before hunting for longs on ES? I like to look for reversals. So if you wait for an hourly change in the state of delivery, you're going to miss the reversal. The lower time frame reversal is what's going to make that hourly change in the state of delivery. So the answer is no, I don't always wait for the change in the state of delivery. Big divergence here between ES and NQ. Clearly everybody's seeing NQ go lower, while ES is still holding up nicely, right? The low is still intact there on ES. That's not on NQ, so there's some SMT there. ES clearly showing to be the stronger pair. Nothing to do here yet, though, in terms of our game plan. Everybody knows what I'm looking for. That hasn't happened yet. So there's nothing to do here yet. So we can continue to keep communicating in chat. But I'm not going to point to anything on the screen unless it fits my game plan. So question regarding Apex, can't I just have the same risk for, what is that, 5 to 7% and trade micro? Yeah, I would absolutely just be on the micros. Have smaller position size. If it's a larger breaker, then just have smaller position size. But you have to be consistent with your position sizing. So if you're going to start on the micros, stay on the micros. Don't go from micros to minis. They're not going to like that for consistency and position sizing. Does this model work outside of session peak hours? I would not trade outside of session peak hours. It doesn't matter what model you're using. I don't think that's a good idea. So for anybody that joined late, I'll just quickly recap what we're looking at here. First things first, we're waiting until 10 a.m. because of the 10 a.m. driver. Next is the daily chart. We're looking at higher prices because of this. Validated FVG here. So price must be reaching for the swing high. We're looking at ES because there's a clear divergence against Q. Q's just stuck between the inverted fair value gap, normal fair value gap. It is the weaker pair right now versus ES. We're sitting here on a 5-minute because of time frame alignment looking for our entry function. So set the game plan. The game plan is set. We simply just wait now, looking for our entry function. Again, also while we're waiting, pull this up again just to show everybody because we will be drawing winners here soon. If you haven't already, right here, we're about to draw winners for the 250K accounts, my funded futures. So if you didn't engage with this post, missed out on a chance on that, we'll draw the winners here, and whoever's present in chat will be able to claim the rewards if their name was picked. So we're just waiting for a bullish entry function, and then we are going to point out winners for the giveaway here shortly. Does look like ES is trying to move higher here. Love your content, bro. Probably the only trader I see taking the same setup over and over again. I appreciate the kind response, Shane. Very nice of you. For me, I need a mechanical way of engaging with the market. It is just my personality. I'm not sitting here saying I'm right and somebody else is wrong. Everybody engages with the market or however they see fit for themselves. So I'm just being real with myself and understanding myself and having some self-ownership and knowing that I need to have a 1, 2, 3 step process to engage with the market so that I don't get lost in the information overload. So, you know, whoever finds value in me documenting my journey publicly, I'm gladly willing to always answer any questions and help with any information and share my journey. So what happens after you switch from micro to mini? Will Apex not approve your trade? There's a very likely chance that you can get a payout denied because of the change in position sizing. Right? 5 micros is a smaller position size than 1 mini or 2 minis. They are not going to like that you don't have consistency in your position sizing. How are indices correlated with Dixie? Dixie is inversely correlated to indices. So if Dixie is going up, indices should be going down, vice versa. But there are many times where that correlation is not very strong, right? Like Dixie went lower this morning and so did NQ. You see what I'm saying? There's many times where the correlation is not the strongest. So that is not something that I focus on. I keep it in the back of my mind, but there's many times where the correlation is not very strong. So it's not the most important for myself. Do you only trade the 1 minute? No. I trade the 1 minute. I trade the 5 minute. I've traded the 15 minute. I've traded the weekly. Showed some long-term investments earlier in the stream that were weekly trades. Again, for anybody that's not understanding why they can't communicate in chat, you have to sub to the channel. The chat is sub-only mode. So I still have nothing here. Reason being is the time. It's still only 9:50. He pointed out the news driver, so we're waiting until 10 a.m. What made you stop being on the M1? The 1M is just too noisy. Too fast-paced. I'd rather be on the 5M, and that is where the majority of my trades are. So the 1M is just too noisy. Many price fluctuations, much volatility. When you say you trade after the news, that means you wait for a unicorn setup to be created after the news? No, the setup can already be created. I'm just not entering any positions until after the news. Whether it creates the unicorn before or after doesn't matter. I simply just don't enter any positions before the news. Hi, Ash. Thank you for all of your time. Thank you as well for being here. Come across instances where the SMT between ES and NQ, but on the weaker pair, you find the unicorn. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So the unicorn is a swing low, a swing high, a new low, a new high, while SMT shows this right here, a low, and then a higher low. This is the unicorn. You have to have a breaker block plus an FEG. So yes, if you're looking at SMT on a lower time frame, the unicorn is going to be the one that does sweep the low. But what I would advise is using higher time frame SMT. right? Use SMT from the daily or the hourly, and then go to a lower time frame to find your entry function. Please apply stat map. Here is stat map right here. So stat map makes it look like we've deviated from the bottom of the range. After deviating the bottom of the range, we had a 15-minute change in the state of delivery. And that's what price is currently dealing with right now. Right? Does it get supported by the change in the state of delivery or not? Yes, for SMT, when you're looking at bullish SMT, the one that sweeps the low is the weaker pair, right? So here's the bullish SMT again. Right? It makes a higher low. This is the stronger pair right here, one that makes the higher low. This is exactly why I said use the SMT from a higher time frame, right? Use the stronger pair from higher time frame SMT, and then go to a 5-minute to find your entry function, because this will always be the entry function right here. Breaker block plus FVG. This cannot be a unicorn because of the SMT. You have to sweep the low. You do not sweep the low, it cannot be a unicorn. But notice the difference what I'm saying. Get the SMT from the higher time frame, not the entry function time frame. So if there's a unicorn before the news and it didn't move price to 2R, you just put the limit order on the breaker after the news. That is exactly what I was saying. Yes, it doesn't matter if the entry function is created before or after the news. What matters is if you execute before or after the news. You still moving lower this morning? Going to be the weaker pair. Hope everybody's day is going well. We're going to go ahead and do the giveaway here shortly. Probably give it a few more minutes, see what the 10 a.m. news does, and then we'll look to do the giveaway. At what dates do you not want to trade for the upcoming holidays? Well, I do not participate in bank holidays. So on the economic calendar, When you see this right here, you see this right here, bank holiday, those are the days that I do not participate. So anytime you see a bank holiday on the economic calendar, or whatever holiday it is, I don't participate. Got a minute here before the news. Let's see what the news gives us. But we are currently looking at the 15-minute change in the state of delivery on ES. See what the news wants to do with that. See what the news has for us. All right, so depending on what price does with this change in the state of delivery, what I'll be looking at, let's take a look at a few seconds so I can document it. So the FVG of this breaker block has already been rebalanced. So this looks weaker than it would be if this was a breakaway gap right here. For that reasoning, I'm going to wait and see if price can get supported by this gray box before engaging with price. See what type of reaction we get from the gray box before engaging with price. If it shows no respect, provides no support, then I'm not going to enter. See if they want to flip the candle green here. Still just waiting for confirmation. Any read on why this week has been like this in terms of price delivery? Yeah, we really haven't gotten clean price delivery this week. It's the U.S. holidays. People are probably traveling. As much as everybody wants to believe in the algorithm, supply and demand is a real thing. If there's less participants in the market, what is driving price? Right, so like yesterday was so much consolidation. It was consolidation for almost the entire New York AM session. In my opinion, people are definitely taking Thanksgiving and the day after. They're probably traveling right now. All right, so last time I'll mention it, and then we'll do the giveaway in chat. Take a look here. We're doing a giveaway for 2 50K starter accounts on My Funded Futures for anybody that's present in chat to claim it. We're about to run this in chat. Last thing to mention is the Black Friday deal. This Black Friday deal is only going till the 30th. So it's a huge chance to get huge discounts. Still waiting for price to see if it wants to get supported by the bullish breaker or not. The reason for waiting for confirmation is because the FVG has already been rebalanced. Right? So a stronger form of a unicorn will have a breakaway gap as the FVG that's aligned with the breaker block. Right? So I would call this maybe B or B minus. And that's why I'm saying wait for confirmation. All right, so I'm going to use a random number generator. This way, everybody gets a fair chance at winning the 50K account. There will be 2 winners. So I'll use the random number generator twice to get the 2 numbers that will be winners. You will have to be present here in chat because I'm going to tell you to put a number from 1 to 100 in the chat. Only place one number because the first number that you put in as a comment will be the number that you enter for the giveaway. Okay, so only one comment with one number. Whoever is present, once the random number generator generates a number, can claim the giveaway account. So put a number 1 to 100 into the chat. We'll start the giveaway now. There will be 2 winners. Going to give it some time for people to provide their answers. While they do that, I'm going to take another sip of coffee. Right, thanks for your patience. Gonna give another minute for people to answer. Still waiting on confirmation for the breaker here. Definitely let you guys know, and you'll see it on the screen. We're waiting for confirmation to see if bullish breaker will support price. While we're doing that, we're doing a giveaway for 2 50K accounts. You have to put a number 1 to 100 into the chat. You are only able to submit one number, so your first comment will be that number. And in just another minute or two, I'll use the random number generator to pick the winners. Last minute or so to enter the giveaway. All right, so let me go ahead and do the random number generator now. Number 1 to 100. Let's see. All right, so sorry for the people that put numbers over 100. Both times I had stated the number between 1 and 100, so good luck with those ones. All right, so let's see. First number we have is 43. Who in the chat put 43? Let's see. Let me go through the comments. Who in the chat put 43? Haven't found it yet. Let me see. Who in the chat put 43? No, Ash. You put 43 in there after I said that. Please stop spamming. Guys, I already did the random number, so whoever's putting the number now, it doesn't count. Like, giveaway's going already. Give me a second. Still haven't found the person yet. Just skimming through the numbers to see who put 43. Give me a second. Nobody put 43? Okay. 5. All right, so first, I still haven't found the winner. I'm skimming through the messages to see if anybody put 43, but notice how we did not get supported by our idea. So I'm not going to even consider this position. We'll go right back to waiting here. All right, so last chance. I still haven't found 43 yet. If you did put 43, at me real quick in the chat. Nobody put 43. I will have to enter the next number. Let's see. Okay, this time we're going to use a bot to do the giveaway. The bot will pick 2 names from people in chat. And it looks like it already drew one. The Koa Lee. Is Koa Lee here? Sorry if I said that incorrectly. Guys, you will have to be present to claim the account. So, Koa Lee, at me in chat if you are here. For anybody that's not here present, then we're just going to run it until the 2 people that are present claim the prize. So last chance for Koa Lee. Are you here? Want to claim the prize? If not, we're going to pick the next winner. We need to find 2 people that are present. All right, not going to wait much longer. Going to just run the next one. Let's see who got this one. Bid online. Bid online. If you at me in chat, you can claim it. Let's see if they are present. There we go. We got our first winner. Bid online. Bid online. Can you either direct message me, either on Twitter or in Discord? Throw a screenshot of this and send it to me in a DM. And we'll pick the second winner. Got one more count. See who the second winner is. We're still happily flat here. Game plan was set before the market started. We were looking for higher prices. We have yet to get a higher price. So we'll run the second giveaway as we continue to keep waiting. Let's see, Daniel Reese. Daniel Reese, if you're in chat, if you at me, you claim the giveaway. If the second winner. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Daniel, if you could DM me, whether it's on Discord or on Twitter, to claim the account. Congrats. Little Thanksgiving activities before the holidays. Figured we'd do something fun here on stream. Every day doesn't have to be about risking. Every day doesn't have to be, you know, engaging with the market. We can still sit here and gain conviction. We don't have to risk to gain conviction. It looks like NQ's still just heading lower here. So I'm more than okay with having an incorrect bias this morning. Especially seeing that no risk has been taken yet. All right, I mean, we're looking at ES for the stronger pair, and there's nothing here on the 5-minute. The first thing that we looked at on the 15-minute provided no confirmation. Right after the news, the candle just went and closed below it. So no longer interested in looking at that. And there's nothing here on the 5-minute. So nice little giveaway. Do something fun. Do a little holiday activities. The two winners can DM me to claim their prizes. We can get to that after the stream. So if anybody wants to ask any questions or go over any information, now we can take the time to talk about the chart, see if anything develops. So far, with my bullish bias, we have not gotten any bullish entry function. I'm yet to engage with price. Back to any question. Ash, how do you think we should interpret candles that, for example, displace aggressively, creating a huge wick in the direction of our breaker? The candle has to close above the breaker. The better the candle closure, the more conviction. So if it leaves a huge wick, I don't appreciate that. I'd rather see a nice candle closure. How to join the Discord? The links to the Discord are we just put them in chat there. You can also see them in the descriptions of the link of this video. What is the best time to trade gold and oil? Oil, I would look at New York AM, starting at 9 a.m. I don't trade gold, so I can't comment on that. Can you review your criteria for a breaker block? So a breaker block must have swing low, a swing high, new low, a new high. This is a bullish breaker. The bullish breaker will always be an up close candle that is found in this leg of price. We need to see clear and decisive displacement through the breaker that also leaves an FVG. So this would be the breaker here. And when we displace through it, we want to see a nice candle closure above the breaker. We want to see an FVG aligned with it. I look for this during New York AM session, 9:30 to 12. Look at the economic calendar to see when to engage with price, because I look to execute after the drivers during my. Right, so for example, today we had a 10 a.m. news driver. After 10 a.m., we have yet to receive this right here. That's the reason why there has not been executed. Ash, just curious why you don't use session stat map. I use open, high, low, close stat map because I'm looking to be on the same side as the daily candle. Not looking for a session profile, I'm looking for a daily profile. Where am I from? I'm from North Carolina. Which days do I not trade? I don't trade bank holidays. I don't trade FOMC. I don't trade CPI. I don't trade Wednesday to Friday of non-farm payroll week. How to download the PDF for the unicorn? If you go to the Discord, there will be a link to the PDF. Ash, do you long the weaker pair or the stronger pair? You want to long the stronger pair. In a bullish bias, look for higher time frame SMT to get the stronger pair. Then on your entry function time frame, find a bullish entry function. Right, that's exactly why we're looking at ES. ES is definitely the stronger pair compared to NQ. Like look at how well ES is held up versus NQ sold off to the distribution level. So no trade so far today because my entry function is not present. Will I trade Friday or Thursday? I do not participate in bank holidays, and I will be spending time with family on Friday. So family has traveled a long way to come spend the holidays here this year. So I will be with family on Friday. Once again, showing how NQ is the weaker pair. See how NQ is already at previous day low versus ES. Ash, what's correlated to DAX? I don't trade currencies. I don't trade forex, so I'm gonna have to defer to somebody else that does. I'm not certain about that one. Ash, a large 1 hour FEG placed as resistance above your entry model. Would that stop you from taking the trade? Well, I would like to know the scenario a little more, right? So, like, for example, if we just swept a swing low, then I would be thinking that we need to move from external to internal. So what you're saying about the FEG being placed as resistance, my opinion, it sounds like the FEG is what needs to be rebalanced next. Right, so I need a little bit more information to understand the question. But if we just swept external and we're looking to move back internal, then it sounds like that FEG that you're mentioning would be the draw on liquidity, not resistance. Right, price is only ever doing two things. It's either grabbing liquidity below a swing low or above a swing high, or rebalancing an FEG. So if we've just swept external, then I would think we need to rebalance the FEG next. Who was my mentor? You're looking at it right here. Been staring at the screen for the past 7 years. Right? So I've tried many things. It's like a trial and error kind of thing with the amount of time that I've spent with price. So you don't see anything here on my screen because I have nothing for you. Right? I told you I had a bullish bias this morning. We have yet to see any kind of bullish entry function. So that's why I'm not going to point to anything. I create a bias and I trade my bias. I don't really trade discretionarily, right? I set the game plan and then I execute the game plan. I'm okay with being wrong. So for today's example, having a bullish bias, was wrong, and it has provided no bullish entry function. I'm more than okay with that because I don't think every single day you need to take a trade anyway. Right, so if you're capable of gaining conviction without risking money, it sounds like a really good learning opportunity. How old am I? I'll be turning 30 on May 5th. So, not going to look to stay around here long because bias was wrong. Price is heading lower. I'm not looking to counter trade my bias, and I'm not looking to force myself upon price. Right, no bullish entry function ever since 10 a.m. because we were waiting until after the news. We've yet to receive one of these right here. We had attempted looking at the 15-minute chart because this was present from pre-market. Right, we did have it here. But since it was during pre-market, I needed additional confirmation. Since the FEG was already rebalanced, that's why I had stated that this was a B- setup, and then I'm less interested. And all of that logic looks to be playing out. So we had then decided to wait for confirmation. The current candle did not get supported by the idea, so there was no entry function. So then we just moved back to the sidelines. The closer we get to lunchtime, the less I'm interested in price. I don't need to force my bias upon price. It's clearly not providing an entry function, and I'm more than okay with remaining flat. Should the breaker be the bullish swing high candle or the last bullish candle before the liquidity sweep? So let's look at this right here. Swing low, swing low, swing high, new low, new high. Price did sweep this low here, see? We need to find the highest up close candle before the leg down that took liquidity. The leg down that took liquidity is these two candles here. So we need the highest up close candle before that. Right, so it's this candle right here is the bullish breaker. Once a candle closes above the bullish breaker, that's when it's a confirmed breaker. So up here. But seeing that the FVG that is aligned with it was already rebalanced before it was a confirmed unicorn makes me say that this is a B- setup. And I had stated that when we were looking at this. I would rather this right here be a breakaway gap. Bullish breaker will always be an up close candle. A bearish breaker will always be a down close candle. All right, so I'm going to wrap up stream. The 2 giveaway winners need to DM me to claim their prize. Hit the sub button, hit the like button. That way you can be notified for when we go live again. Last chance to take advantage of the discount for the premium group. One of our largest discounts. Great time to lock in for 2025. Hope everybody enjoys the holidays. For whoever participates in the holidays, I hope you and your family enjoy time together, the good company and the good food. Today we had no position. The bias was wrong, and I'm more than okay with that because I was flat this morning, and I'm going to remain flat. Not going to force a wrong bias upon the market. I'll simply just sit on the sidelines and wait. Thank you for everybody being here. I greatly appreciate everybody's participation. Thank you for all of the support over the time. I really hope everybody has a great holiday. I will be off on Thursday and Friday. Thursday is the holiday. And then Friday I'll be spending it with family members. But if you want to get any additional communication in with me, I will be moving over to the Discords after this. I hope everybody has a great holiday. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you once again. Have a nice day, everyone.